Hello, I'm Jenna Oikawa, and this is a weekly show about my next album, Project 2, Escape Plan to Canada. And on today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the title track to this album, how I wrote it, and how it got its name. So the title track of this album is a song that I wrote about a year ago that I wanted to play for an upcoming show. And when I sat down to write out, really what I was thinking is that I wanted a new song and I wanted it to be fast. So a lot of times when I start approaching a song, I might start with the harmonies, or I might start with the rhythm, or I might start with the melody, or I might start with an idea, or I might start with how I'm feeling that day, or something I'm frustrated about, something I want to express in a tune. But for this one, honestly, what I wanted is I wanted a fast song. This one, I decided to start with a fun, fast bass line. And I used a rhythmic grouping that consisted basically of groups of threes and twos, and so it gives it this kind of different sort of rhythmic feel that's not necessarily what you normally hear in most popular music. Like this. So that's the basic rhythmic pattern that's going to repeat. Just going 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2, and then that repeats over and over again. It's kind of how the song started. And after that, I wrote a contrasting section that sounds more like your typical swing tune, straight ahead jazz. So one of the challenging things about this, playing it with a band, is being able to rhythmically stay together. And the fun thing between the first section and the second section is, even though the meter is different, the two tempos do relate mathematically. So you might not realize that when you're listening to it as an audience, that, oh, this section feels really different, that it's actually related. And if we're able to get those to line up just as I'm wanting them to, then it should feel really good. But the way that this song got its title, when I first wrote it, I didn't have a title for it. And even when we first performed it, I didn't have a title for it. So I called it Untitled Number Something Something, and whenever I title a song Untitled Number Something Something, I come up with a random number. I'm not actually keeping track of how many untitled songs I have and what number it is, because I know it's going to be a temporary title placeholder until the title comes to me. Once in a while, I do have a title for a tune when I start with an idea, but more often I write the song, and at some point I'm reading something, or I'm in a conversation, or something happens and the phrase comes up, or a couple words come together, and that just clicks, and I know that that's going to be the name of whatever song I might be working on, or whatever song is waiting around, just waiting around for a title. Sitting there in my notebook, waiting for a title. This is my songwriting notebook. This is where I write down my ideas. This is where I work them out before I put them all in this lovely, pretty music chart that I use for my band. They all start here, and sometimes I'll have ideas in here that don't get finished for a really, really long time. But this one got finished pretty quickly. So now the way that it got its title, out of a conversation I was having with my roommate about feeling frustrated about something, and jokingly I said, so when that happens, then, you know, I start making my escape plan to Canada. I took that phrase and I stuck it on this song because it fit. And why that title connects with my story about moving from Canada to LA is that it took me a long time to get settled and get connected here. And so I had a lot of moments when I thought about moving back to Canada, thinking of plans of how I could do that. I literally would be on the freeway and know that I could right now just drive over to the 5, go north, and in about 22 hours I would be at the border and I'd be in Canada, and I could just forget this whole LA life, all the things I'm trying to do here, all the things that don't feel like they're working, and just escape to Canada. I never did that because I had this strong sense that I was supposed to be here and I needed to be here. but I would often have those moments. And I think that a lot of people can relate to that. You can have thoughts of, how can I get out of this situation? How can I escape? And so this song kind of feels like a funny portrayal of that happening in someone's mind. And it makes it sound a lot more dramatic than it is being an escape plan. So in case you're wondering, the title to this tune and to the album does not mean that I'm going to make this album and then run away to Canada. If you want to stay connected and updated with this project, then sign up for the official Jenna Oikawa Trio mailing list. And you can do that by going to my website, www.jennaoikawa.com/escape plan. Thank you for joining me on the show today, and I hope to see you next week on our 3rd episode.